I'm Xochitl Mora with the City of McAllen. Welcome to your McAllen Minutes. If you missed the McAllen City Commission meeting of June 23rd, don't worry. Here's a brief recap of what was discussed. McAllen Mayor Javier Villalobos called the joint meeting of the McAllen City Commission and McAllen Public Utility to order, and after the Pledge of Allegiance, District 6 Commissioner Pepe Cabeza de Vaca gave the invocation. The meeting began with a resolution approved by both the McAllen City Commission and McAllen Public Utility for a depository banking services contract agreement with Plains Capital Bank. The McAllen Public Utility Board adjourned and the McAllen City Commission meeting continued, with a proclamation read by Mayor Pro Tem Victor Sebi Haddad in honor of Elder Abuse Awareness Month, joined by various organizations who work to prevent and stop the abuse of elderly in the community. Abuse of older adults and people with disabilities is a community concern affecting thousands across Texas, with 123,852 reports made in 2024. Yet, it remains grossly underreported due to social stigma, embarrassment, and fear. Adult abuse affects men and women of all income and ability levels, all cultural and ethnic backgrounds, in all communities. Elder abuse is everyone's business, making it important to strengthen our efforts to prevent, report, and address elder abuse. Next, District 1 Commissioner Tony Aguirre Jr. was joined by members of Robert Bobby Calvillo's family to proclaim July 8th as Robert Bobby Calvillo Day, in honor of the late Executive Director of Affordable Homes of South Texas, who recently passed away. Bobby began his nearly 29-year career devoted to improving living conditions and expanding access to affordable home ownership for low to moderate income families in McAllen and the Rio Grande Valley. Under Bobby's visionary leadership, OSTI grew from a small local nonprofit into a widely respected state and national organization, improving substandard living conditions and making home ownership possible for thousands of families throughout McAllen, the Rio Grande Valley, and even as far as San Antonio and El Paso. Bobby's dedication was rooted in a profound belief in building homes, creating communities, and providing hope, leading always with compassion, integrity, and relentless purpose. His legacy continues to inspire through the mission of OSTI, the families he empowered, and the colleagues, partners, and community members who carry his vision forward. Thank you, Bobby, for your almost 29 years of dedicated service to your community. Under consent agenda, commissioners approved the monthly subdivision report from the Planning and Zoning Department, which highlighted 3 residential, 4 townhouses, 2 commercial, and 1 apartment new subdivisions. Commissioners also approved the monthly status report from the Engineering Department, which gave updates on various ongoing construction projects, including the Anzalduas International Bridge commercial infrastructure upgrade, the Taylor Road widening, and the Quinta Mazatlan Center for Urban Ecology, among others. Commissioners also accepted the monthly status report from the Parks and Recreation Department, with construction updates on Camp McAllen, Morris Bettis Park, and the Youth Baseball Splash Pad, as well as others. Commissioners approved an interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Irrigation District 1 and the City of McAllen for improvements to the Benson Hike and Bike Trail. Commissioners approved an award of services contract to Rod's Lawn Care and Landscape for trimming and peeling of tall palm trees in the amount of $94,755. Commissioners approved an award of contract to Diaz Floors and Interiors of Pharr, Texas, for the terminal contract replacement project at the McAllen International Airport in the amount of $158,851.73. Commissioners approved several consent resolutions, including a resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Federal Transit Administration Low or No Emission Vehicle Program to help Metro McAllen secure funding for 3 fully autonomous buses in the amount of $1,500,000. If a local match is required, a budget amendment of $150,000 from the McAllen Development Corps will be required. A resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation under the FY 2025 Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation Grant Program to request funding in the amount of $25,000. The grant for the McAllen Fire Department, if awarded, requires no local match and is for acquiring inflatable water rescue rafts, protective gear, and specialized training. A resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to Enbridge Inc. under the Safety Community First Responder Program, which supports enhancing public safety by purchasing equipment, training, and educational tools for first responders. The grant, in the amount of $10,000 for the McAllen Fire Department, if awarded, requires no local match and is to support the MFD's fire education program. A resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Gary Sinise Foundation under the FY 2025 First Responder Outreach Program, requesting funding in the amount of $35,000. The grant for the McAllen Fire Department, if awarded, requires no local match and will be used to purchase wilderness rope rescue equipment, UTV transport trailer, and 6 sets of wildland personal protective equipment. A resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency under the FY 2024 Fire Prevention and Safety Grant Program, requesting funding in the amount of $20,952.38. The grant, if awarded for the McAllen Fire Department, requires a 5% local match of $1,047.62 and will be used to support public safety education efforts and to enhance their capabilities in conducting safe and effective fire scene investigations. Commissioners approved tax refunds over $500 to various McAllen taxpayers. Under bids and contracts, Commissioners approved an award of contract to Phoenix Contracting from Ruskin, Florida, in the amount of $149,870 for the purchase of one current model 28-foot mobile command trailer to be used by the City of McAllen Emergency Management and Public Works Department during emergencies and incident response and deployments. Funding sources for the unit include a grant award from the Office of the Governor and Homeland Security Grant Program in the amount of $90,000 and the remaining $59,369.52 from the Public Works Sanitation Fund. Commissioners approved an award of emergency purchase order for the McAllen Fire Department Central Fire Station for AC unit replacements. The purchase is in the amount of $102,850 to Delta Air Conditioning, Inc. of McAllen, Texas. Under Ordinances, Commissioners adopted an amendment to Ordinance 2009-59 to reclassify 2 police officer positions to 1 sergeant and 1 lieutenant with an effective date of October 1, 2025. Under Resolutions, Commissioners authorized a grant submission to the Rio Grande Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization under Category 10, Congestion Reduction Program, and Category 7, Surface Transportation Block Grant. We hope you enjoyed this recap of your McAllen City Commission meeting. Meetings are set for the 2nd and 4th Monday of each month. We also air the entire meeting on the McAllen Cable Network Spectrum 1300 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. For the City of McAllen, I'm Xochitl Mora.